Young voter turnout trends in elections have historically been lower compared to older voters, but that seems to be changing this year, including here in Montana. MTN's Gabby Crevitt has more.
Just days away from Election Day, political researchers are diving into the early voting data to see what the numbers are saying. One group of voters they'll be paying close attention to: the youth vote. A recent study from the Center for Information and Research on Civic Learning and Engagement shows early votes casted by youth ages 18 to 29 are up this year in many parts of the country, compared to around the same time as the 2016 general election cycle. Montana is one of the states showing more voter participation among young voters. Back in 2016, around late October, around 8,100 young voters had returned their ballots. As of late last week, the study says around 28,600 ballots were reported returned.
Young people often will vote a little bit later in the election season and are less likely to be voting early compared to their older counterparts. So these next couple of days will really tell us whether we're going to be busting through records on youth voter turnout or not.
Political science professor at Montana State University, David Parker, said young people are very motivated to head to the polls this year. The driving forces?
The economy and pandemic. I mean, these young voters are going into college and having a college experience that they don't like, or if they're not going to college, they're probably going into a job market, which is awful because of the pandemic.
The study also showed a significantly higher number of ballots requested by young people in 2020 compared to 2016. But Forward Montana says that number is a bit misleading.
We just opted in a ton of our counties to all mail-in. So people are getting ballots whether or not they request them if they're in one of those counties.
MTN News asked what's fueling young voters in Montana this year.
They've been energized over the last 4 years, and then there's a marijuana initiative on the ballot.
There are a ton of young people that are really motivated and super mobilized by this election and all of the issues, all of the candidates up and down the ballot.
Reporting in Gallatin County, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
Thanks, Gabby.